Okay, go on the other side of the bike. Got a bunch of crap in the way on this side. Makes it hard to do what you need to do. We'll put the camera way over here. So I got to pull the exhaust system off of this. Which is hard to do right now. All this crap in the way. There. It's through now. Just gonna just put a little spray on our bolt. It's been a little while since that's been off. Loosen up, that's all it takes. 2 exhaust bolts over here. Exhaust bolt. There was a spacer on that. Remember. And this comes off as one piece. Quick and simple. You can see a fuel mixture I ran last in there. That's the best way to check your fuel mixture is to pull your pipe off and look inside. You can see what happened last. Okay, so now we're down to just our motor again. So we need to pull our top end oil line off. It's this one here. In a hurry, you don't have to pull the whole line. You just pull on the head, but if you're pulling a cylinder, which I am anyway, it's just easier to pull the whole line out. But not necessary if you don't have time. Just a couple minutes savings, you don't have to dick around with the other half of it. There we go. Rubbers are stuck up in there. There it goes. They've been there for a lot of years. Okay, there's that. Now the push rod covers do not have to be yanked to get the motor part. That is an optional thing. I usually like pulling the cylinder base nuts off right now because I'm on this side of the bike. Got access to this or not. I don't have access to that right now. I guess we're leaving that on for now. Okay, I got our intake manifold bolt. Okay, that's done. Okay, we're done with this side of the bike. Quick and simple. So I got the oil line out of here. Got 2 bolts for the intake manifold out. Got 1 bolt there. I can't get to this one right now, so I'm going to screw with it. And of course, exhaust pipe's off. So that's all you do now is pull 4 head bolts and 2 more intake manifold bolts, and it's out of there. So this thing's made to be worked on. And I haven't done this in a lot of years, but I still remember really well how to do it. Lots of practice. This side of the cylinder, that's what I pull off, not that side. Push rods run away. Bolt. So that's the intake manifold. So the intake manifold's already separating out just by taking the bolts out, because it's all being held up by all the nitro stuff up under here. Holds it in the air for you, you don't have to deal with it. These are the cylinder base nuts I can get you from at this point. Look around the fuel lines here, and oil line. Studs are pretty long down here because of the half-inch spacer I got in there for the stroke increase. 1 inch longer stroke means you got a half-inch spacer underneath the cylinder. Everything else stays the same. Oil washer. Not quite enough fingernail to get up under there. Keep good hardware on there, and you don't have to fight it to get it off. That's been sitting for a lot of years, the way they want to come off. Okay, now in your torque wrench. That'll be this. And this is my socket with a short extension. Get you above the rocker box. You know what torque you use? About that much. And you grab your 7/16 12-point socket on top of your long extension here. And that's how you get the bolt out real quick. One reason why I got an open frame up here. Allows me to get my tools in here real quick and simple. Don't have to fight it so much. This bolt for some reason is tight. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. Oh, I know why. Valve spring tension. Yeah, there it goes. The valve must have been off the seat. Now we're on the overlap stroke, not on the compression stroke. Yeah, so it's heavy ass valve spring tension in there. Oops. Usually doesn't stay on that position. That's weird. See, that's how much valve lift I have at top dead center. See, usually the DM motors, it stops on the other two turns that you got in there. This particular time, it stayed on the overlap stroke. That's weird. That doesn't usually happen very often. Alright, so stock head bolts work fine. Never had a problem with them. You lift the heads up, the push rod covers will fall off, so usually I'm on the other side of the bike when I do this. So that's the rear one. Front one. These have really long push rods in here because it's ½ inch taller than normal. So these are Quar universal cut Hemi push rods for the Gen 2. Basically the old racing stuff they had back in the day. Alright. Head comes off as a unit down here. Get the other head bolt out of the way. So there's the exhaust port. Here's the intake side of it. And here's our intake port. A little bigger than stock, see? You can definitely see the valve in there. And you can see all the molten aluminum inside the chamber. That's from the melted pistons that keep happening in there. So that affects everything a little bit. There's the piston down the hole. And you can see all those marks in there from when that was full of damage from the piston that was in here before. And you cannot feel those marks. They're smooth. Yeah, that's a tribe oil for you, protecting the motor. Somewhere I got that piston around here. I don't know where it's at, but it's floating around here somewhere. Have to figure out where it's hidden. So anyway, that's pretty much what it looks like before I put it together last time. You can see my gas. I don't run a gasket on here. Of course, the cylinder is cracked, but I don't care. It doesn't keep me from using it. The cylinder's been cracked for 10 years. You see. Now I got access to the other bolt, or stud in this case. Like putting rags under my cylinder just in case. Even though it shouldn't have any broken rings. You never know. Alright, here you go. Standard Y-scope piston. You can see all the marks in there from with the piston before this one melted and locked up. And I can feel a little bit of those marks down through here. I don't really feel them up top, but I can feel them down there. I do feel something right there. There's a big crater or something right there. The big hole right there. I don't know what the hell that is. A big burn mark or something. Yeah, that's a big hole in there. Yeah, I feel more of the marks in the bottom, halfway down the cylinder than anything else. Considering what that piston looks like, that's nothing. Ooh, what's up with that? That piston is tight. That is not how it's supposed to be. We got green oil in here. What the hell is all that? It's supposed to be blue oil. Trabodyne. Damn. Something's stuck in there too. That's not supposed to be there. What the hell's causing that? No extra parts in there. About 15 cracks there. About normal. What the hell? Something got into there. Don't know what. See, this motor didn't run for squat going on the track. It was way too rich, but something happened to it. Piston's locked up in here. That was already in there when I put it in. You can't feel it, but you can see it. It's a Tribodyne at work again. Damn. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that piston. It's weird. That's the rod clearance there. Yeah. Let's see. Nice and loose, huh? That's how they work at 8,000. You want to run your motor consistent 8,000 RPM, you better have that thing loose. It's loose. I don't know why that piston's locked up. That's weird. It's definitely locked. Looks like it's blowing a little bit of head gasket, so they ain't got no head gasket. It's blowing right through here a little bit. Everything else is good. Yeah, where that big crack used to be. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, it's probably time to check some machining and see if it's time to do another cut. This is machined purposely as is, so there's no gaskets required. This is a custom-made sleeve that I put in the cylinder that allows me to do that. Stock cylinder, this lip blows right off. It's a lot thicker than stock. You know, it's only 50 thou tall instead of being real tall. It's also twice as thick, so it doesn't break or burn. I actually seal up on top of the cylinder spigot here, not down here. But if it leaks past this, then it doesn't leak past here. You can see there's nothing past that. It leaks past this, but not the next layer. There's like 7 O-ring cuts in there if you look at the cuts, the way it's machined. Every one of those little grooves you see is a sealing surface. It's an O-ring seal. I use silver paint as a seal. So that's how it is. Yeah, that thing is bad. Alright, I'm going to try to get this piston off of here and see what happened to the piston. Alright, be back.